So remember that they're changing my voice. I go by the name Chuku Haru, but many of you would refer to me as Jesus Christ. I do not approve of the school shootings. I want the violence to stop. I want all communities to hear my arguments about moral precision and to make a sound judgment call as individuals, as people who have decided to team up in groups, to make a sound judgment call in regards to what they should do, in regards to my war on poverty plan, in regards to my morally precise plan. Okay, so what could have prevented these shootings? Obviously, poverty factors in. These people are usually either poor or at high risk of being poor and going homeless one day when their parents die. Pretty straightforward. That adds a significant amount of stress to their life. Also, romantic injustice. And I'll talk about that in another video. So just bear with me as I discuss with you real briefly. I'll try to make this quick. My plan to end homelessness in California, and let's think about why it's rejected. As the government rejects it, they therefore are responsible for the crime rate, the governing class and the government. So this is only 1/10 of my original plan. It was originally a nationwide plan. And in 9 years or less, it should effectively end homelessness, especially on top of the pre-existing programs in California. One, for $6 billion over 9 years, we can build 160,000 tiny homes, okay, at an average of 30,000 each. It's actually enough money for 200,000 tiny homes at $30,000 each, but I want to do it in a way that there would be a $1.2 billion surplus to make sure that all hidden costs are addressed. We would build at least around 18,000 homes a year. It would cost just an average of 50 cents a month for people worth less than $1 million who are taxpayers. It would be just an average of 50 cents a month for taxpayers that are worth less than $1 million, and an average of just $20 a month for taxpayers worth $1 million or more. For example, if you're worth $1.1 million, that's your net worth, you'd probably pay like $8 a month, okay? And over 9 years. But we should keep the plan going and keep building surplus homes, and also put money toward a food program. Okay, I have better plans with a little higher tax rate where we can cover more things, also build affordable housing and so on and so forth. But this gives you an idea of what needs to be done. And when you consider the enormous amount of tax money California takes in, obviously the main reason the homelessness is still here is mismanagement of funds, of tax money. Clear cut, no other way it could be. We could have ended homelessness a long time ago. We could have launched a plan like this a long time ago. It doesn't cost that much to buy land and build tiny homes on that land. Okay. So, point number 4, the plan includes land purchases and building tiny homes with running water, showers, toilet, electricity, air conditioning, a cheap mattress, etc., for an average of $30,000 each on average, with land purchases included. So the homes themselves should cost like $22,000, to build the plumbing and so on and so forth, and to build the home. If we have to build wells and stuff like that, we'll include it with the cost of the land, right? The price of the land. Also build some kind of mechanism to limit the utilities. So if these people are using too much utilities on any given day, it shuts off. Okay, that shouldn't be very hard to do. Okay. The surplus budget should cover utilities, and there is a $1.2 billion margin of error. So the state surplus should cover utility costs, and there's also a $1.2 billion margin of error over the 9 years. Point number 5. White supremacy is how we got into this mess, and it is not the solution. We don't need the system to oversee this project more than the existing laws like zoning and so on and so forth. Okay, this should be done on a website with transparency, with the entire nation working together in their respective state. So I was saying the entire nation could work together and focus on their respective state. So this program should be in every state. Okay, it's just 1/10 of the original plan. In the original plan, it would raise over $60 billion a year. People worth less than $1 million would pay just $5 a month. People worth, on average, people worth $1 million or more, okay, would pay $200 a month on average. A very progressive tax. It's a lot more affordable than it sounds. If you're worth 1.1 million, you might pay $50 a month, depending on how progressive you make the tax. Okay, that's like a little over $10 a week. Okay, that's not that much money. A Big Mac costs like $5.20 plus tax. So a little over $10 a week, if you're worth $1.1 million, is very affordable. Okay, if you're worth 2-3 times that, and you're paying 2-3 times that, it's very affordable. It doesn't add up to that much money. Okay, if you paid $100 a month, for example, it's only $1,200 a year. So if you're paying $50 a month, it's only $600 a year. Okay, and a lot of these people worth 1.1 million and so on and so forth, they have income still. Pretty straightforward. Very affordable. We can have food programs, build affordable housing. We can put some money to law enforcement, fund startup companies, you name it. Okay? And the key part here that I want you to remember more than anything, is that the people themselves would oversee the project, and they would compare the purchases to private purchases. Like, how much would you buy a lot of land for with nothing on it? How much would you pay for a tiny home on your property? Okay, because the government tends to pay way too much money for these things when they do it themselves. Thank you.